Good evening, all my South Orange Mayport listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Millburn, Livingston, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village With Anselm on the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org. And the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Mayport communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. And reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now, the past few nights, we have been discussing several topics with you. We went over some topics on Mayport Online. Yes, we talk about what's happening over on Mayport Online. Even though they may not want the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience to post anything on Mayport Online. But, you know, we see there's interesting things happening on Mayport Online, so we talk about that. We talk about other things that's going on in the community. We talked about the forum that was held last weekend by the new organization in South Orange and Mayport called the South Orange Mayport Parents of African Descent Workshop. We talked about that. But tonight, we're going to go back to the kind of format where we give you the news from the different online newspapers and online websites covering South Orange and Mayport. And then we're going to delve into a lot of other topics. One of the topics I really want to get into, it's sort of a national topic, and that's the Daniel Murphy situation over there with the New York Mets and him taking paternity leave to be with his wife who had a child. And the many different sports commentators, who sort of vilified him for taking time off to go and be with his wife, having this baby. So let's go over to the Community Coalition and Race and see what's going on over the Community Coalition and Race. Of course, this Saturday, you have the new Civic Engagement Institute, the last one. The Community Coalition and Race is hosting a second Civic Engagement Institute. The 4 workshops were created to serve South Orange and Mayport residents who are interested in becoming volunteers but need additional information about the process and opportunities. The Community Coalition especially wants to attract participants from groups that are currently underrepresented in the local volunteer pool. The last workshop will be held this Saturday, April the 5th at the South Orange Public Library, located at 65 Scotland Road in South Orange. So you definitely want to attend that. That's the last one will be held tomorrow, April the 5th, at the South Orange Public Library, located at 65 Scotland Road in South Orange. So you want to go out there and support that event. You will get personality profile analysis by a licensed psychologist, time management and productivity tips from a professional organizer, group dynamics training and exercises, presentation on local volunteer opportunities. These valuable skills will be offered in exchange for a commitment to use them as a volunteer with a South Orange Mayport organization. So, of course, you can go out there and support the Community Coalition. And for those of you who are not involved in any volunteer organization in South Orange and Mayport, you need to go out there and get involved so you can volunteer for any organization in South Orange and Mayport. And coming up on April the 10th, also being held by the Community Coalition and Race, is the Cultural Competency Workshops. Join the schools committee on April the 10th for this exciting learning experience that will be held by professional trainers from the American Conference on Diversity. For teachers, it will be held Thursday, April the 10th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. in Columbia High School Library. Educators will be able to explore cultural dynamics in the classroom, enhance student learning by adopting cultural competency principles, and build more inclusive and affirming classrooms, navigate diversity in the classroom, and strengthen teacher-parent communication. And then at 7 p.m., there will be also another seminar for community members exploring cultural dynamics. Join the Community Coalition in a conversation exploring cross-cultural communication and how it affects parents, teachers, and neighbors. What is cultural competency? How can our community leverage diversity and become more culturally sensitive? The session will be led by Elizabeth Williams Riley, President and CEO of the American Conference on Diversity. So there you have it, the Community Coalition having 2 wonderful events on April the 10th, cultural competency workshop for teachers and exploring cultural dynamics within our diverse community. So those are definitely want to attend those workshops. Let's go over to the alternative press and see what's going on. Columbia High School stages a renovation. The news sweeping the halls of Columbia High School by storm is that of the newly renovated auditorium, sporting new floors, lights, chairs, a stage, upgrades to the stage crew equipment, and repair of the long-forgotten but much-beloved pipe organ. It can now match the musical, theatrical, technical, and artistic prowess for which Columbia High School has become known. Among the renovations is a new air conditioning and heating unit. Cartha Wooddale, a senior and Excelsior Chamber choir member, said, "The air conditioning for me is the biggest upgrade. When you look at the auditorium as a whole, it is not as shocking a difference as you might expect when you walk in, seeing as the whole thing's new. But the longer you stay, the more you realize that it is new." New South Orange Mayport organization seeks true equality for black students. A new organization of concerned parents held a community forum at the Mayport Memorial Library last Saturday to discuss the problems encountered by black students in the South Orange Mayport School District. The South Orange Mayport Parents of Students of African Descent Workshop is seeking to identify and change aspects of the education experience in the district that they see as unfair. Walter Fields, one of the group's organizers, described the group as a group of concerned parents who have come together over the plight of black students in our school district. He said the group's goal is not constant conversation, but action to change the school district, given all we know about racial disparities in our school district and individual cases of disparate treatment. Project Glasslight volunteers in South Orange document problems with 28% of lights. More than 50 volunteers blanketed the streets of South Orange Thursday for Project Glasslight, aimed at identifying defective gas lamps, reporting that 396 or 28% of the village's 1,400 gas lights were not fully functional. The chairwoman of the Village Public Safety Committee, Trustee Sheena Collum, who organized the event, called it a success. Obviously, that's a lot of outage, but the village will touch base with PSENG tomorrow and will keep the community posted about the updates, Collum said. All 21 zones of the village were covered, and the use of the new smartphone app, South Orange Connect, allowed the documentation to move swiftly. It was great that we had enough people volunteer to where we could go out and everyone will be done in 1 hour, Collum said. Call for scholarship essays for South Orange and Mayport High School seniors. The South Orange Historical and Preservation Society is pleased to announce that it will be offering a $1,000 scholarship. The essay competition is open to all high school seniors residing in South Orange and Mayport who will be entering an accredited institution of higher education in the fall 2014 semester. In order to be considered, students must submit an essay on the following topics. Many of the streets in South Orange are named after prominent citizens from South Orange history, many of whom were also important in the growth and governance of South Orange. In this essay contest, students will first select a street name that has historical significance, research the landholder and their family, describe how the landholder or holders influenced the growth and or governance of the village, provide historical facts regarding the landholders, and describe the street as it is today, and include any of the original structures attributable to the landholder still exist. So that's a wonderful opportunity to win a $1,000 scholarship. Maplewood Township Committee approved study for parking deck. The Maplewood Township Committee unanimously passed a resolution last Tuesday night authorizing an economic and financial study for a potential parking deck in Maplewood Village. The Maplewood Village Alliance Board sent a letter to the Maplewood Township Committee in March requesting two resolutions. One, to consider a parking deck or decks, and two, that they consider financing it through proceeds from the sale of the post office, parking meters, permit sales, and sponsorship. We want the Township Committee to authorize these studies and ask the Planning and Engineering Committee to take on the responsibility of looking at these alternatives for decks and have the Finance Committee look at ways this could be financed, said Maplewood Mayor Victor DeLuca. And as we continue with Alternative Press, Maplewood Ideas Festival has begun. The Maplewood Ideas Festival has begun at the Maplewood Memorial Library and will run through April the 12th. And these are the events that will be held. On Saturday, April the 5th at 2 p.m., you have Judith Voiced, Maplewood native, legendary author of children's picture book, adult fiction and non-fictional poetry and musical, Loves and Longings and Wicked Thoughts, the shared experience of children and adults. Following Mrs. Voigt's talk, she will be presented with the first annual Maplewood Literary Award. A reception will follow. And then there are several other events coming up, and we'll get those to you as they come up. As a matter of fact, on Monday, April the 7th at 7 p.m., you have Dan Barry, New York Times journalist and award-winning author of Bottom of the 33rd, Hope, Redemptions, and Baseball's Longest Game, a conversation about the allure of the game and the effect